application will ask for one reference of a company that they've listed an REO for, either an asset manager or the lender directly.
Okay. So at this time, I am going to have the operator let the lines open for any questions. We'll get people ready for questions, and we'll still go back and ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
But operator, can you let the lines open for questions and get people ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question at this time, please press the star, the number 1 key on your touch-tone telephone. If your question has been answered or you wish to remove yourself from the queue, please press the pound key. Once again, if you wish to ask a question at this time, please press the star, the number 1 key. One moment.
All right. So, Wendy, you know, the REO business has been kind of booming and revved up for quite a while now. A lot of agents do complain and say that they aren't making any progress. They're maybe doing some of the things that you've talked about. Do you think it's too late? You know, if you're new on the call and just trying to get some business, is it too late for those people to get started with REOs?
I don't think so. I do think it's going to be a little bit harder, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, as we can tell, our nation has a ton of REOs, which tells me there's a lot of asset managers that need help. And a lot of these lenders are kind of checking out their databases and looking for new, fresh people to work with. And I don't think it's too late. I do think there's companies that need the help of more REO agents and brokers out there.
Good news.
And I was also thinking, you know, if you're filling out the applications for these asset management companies online, but your name isn't in the REO network, is it more likely for them to skip over your application because they don't see you in the REO network, or is it just, you know, is it best to join the REO network and fill out the application?
I would do both. Yes, I would do both. You never know how they're going to contact you, and I've heard of that happening over and over again.
Wow.
Somebody will say, but I was signed up in their system, but then they called me today and said they found me on REO Network. Go figure.
Wow.
So you never know how they're going to. I would recommend doing both. And then I've also had lenders tell people you have to be on REO Network for us to use you.
Wow.
So I would recommend doing both.
Also, for REO Network, once you're in the network, are you, pretty much a lifetime member, or do you have to kind of keep up your membership there?
We like you to keep it up. I mean, we want you to update your license when it's in there. You may want to take the time to update your bio because you may get more experience. Yes, we definitely would like you to log in. And we try to send out emails to our brokers and agents every once in a while, not too often, maybe once every couple of months, to remind them to log in, to update their information. So definitely we want the brokers and agents to log in and update it.
Okay, so let's check back in for the questions. Operator, do we have anyone who wants to ask a question at this time?
I'm showing we have a question from Jeff. You may begin.
Yes, hi. This is Jeff Helen with RE/MAX, and I was interested in listening to the call today because I would be interested in trying to begin doing REOs, and I thought maybe this would help provide information about how to start. And it seems like it's the chicken and the egg. Everybody wants experience before they'll put you in directories. How do you start to do one to get into a directory that says you got to have experience first? And that's really the predicament I see about beginning REOs. Everybody wants some aspect of you have to have listed an REO first.
Right. I definitely would recommend trying those local lenders that you might have. Our particular site only requires that you've listed at least one REO. So I would try to go to those local lenders. We have another company, Jeff, called Clear Capital. Are you familiar with them?
No.
Clear Capital is a company that sends out evaluations like BPOs, property inspections. They do not give out listings, but I would recommend signing up with them. They won't require the reference, but they will look to see if you've been licensed at least 2 years. So I would sign up with them. You just go to clearcapital.com. And then I would continue to forge ahead, just try to find other companies to sign up with. Jeff, what area are you in? Are you in Orange County?
Orange County.
Okay. Okay. So it may just take you a little bit more time because there is a lot of competition in your area, but I don't think it's impossible. I definitely don't think it's impossible. I would recommend, too, maybe checking out the REO MAC conference that's going to be in Palm Springs in April. That might be a great way to kind of network with some companies and find out what's going on and get your name out there. Eventually, it'll happen. It does take a time, and it seems like the brokers and agents that I've talked to, they've told me it took about a year of them doing BPOs and networking until they finally got their first listing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we can chat more, too, if you want to email me or give me a call, too.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Thanks for that question. That was a good question because that's a common question people
Right.
have. Do we have to first get our experience and then, try to get some REOs, or will somebody give you that chance, to get started in the business? So
somebody will eventually. It just we want the experience because we promote REO Network that we've screened everybody for some REO experience. So. They feel comfortable using our site for that, but not all lenders require that.
Okay.
All right. So, operator, do we have any other questions?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question at this time, please press the star, then number 1 key. I'm showing we have a question from Wayne. You may begin.
Yes. My question, I'm on a call. I'm a commercial real estate broker. Ha, ha, ha. So, and there's very little stuff out there in terms of, like, education, calls like what you're doing now with commercial real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if REO Network is just strictly single-family homes.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah. I'm sorry, Wayne, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So what I wanted to know from you, are you guys just single-family homes? Do you also deal with commercial? And if not, is there any other networks that you could recommend that we get involved with?
Okay, that's a great question. Our site is usually used for residential properties, but we are seeing a small increase of asset managers asking us, do you have commercial brokers and agents on your site? Because there isn't a directory out there like this for commercial brokers and agents. So what we've been telling our brokers and agents right now is if you do commercial, if you have experience in commercial, in REO and BPO or commercial properties in general, make sure you write that on your bios because we're telling the asset manager that it's written on their bios now. So I would recommend, Wayne, applying to REO Network and then mentioning that on their bio because you're right, there isn't any type of REO directory out there that's strictly just for commercial.
Okay. All right, because that's all I do, and I do have REO commercial experience, too.
Perfect.
So I thought it was worth the call just to listen in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Wayne, for joining. All right, operator, next question.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask a question at this time, please press the star, then number 1 key. I'm showing no further questions at this time.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, even as Wayne was saying, as a commercial realtor, you never know where you'll be able to get good information. And to join the REO network as having that commercial experience, if everybody else they're seeing is, single-family residential,
Mm-hmm.
it may set him apart in there as well.
Right. And a lot of the asset managers are familiar with REO Network, so they're not quite sure where else to go to find a commercial REO broker or agent. So our site is perfect for them to find someone. So I definitely, Wayne should get on there and mention that on his bio.
Yeah, it's great that REO Network, showcases so many asset managers, banks, and companies that look at that site because you can't be on too many networks or sites for people to get to see you and for you to get noticed. Is that right?
Right. I do want to kind of go back to, there's so many sites out there now. You want to do a little research. You want to find out and ask your asset managers, what do you use to find other brokers and agents, and find out from other brokers and agents what's worked for you, because there are so many sites that have kind of popped up in the past couple years. And I'm proud to say that we are actively being used by asset managers. But you want to do some research as a broker or agent to find out where you're spending your marketing money.
That's good. And also, REO Network was the first online directory. Is that right?
Yes, the first online directory in the industry.
Well, that would, make a lot of sense for if people are going to go with what's trusted, what's been around,
Right.
what's reliable. REO Network sounds like the place to be.
Right.
Okay, so let's see. Operator, are there any other questions at this time?
I'm showing we have a question from Alicia.
Yeah, hi. This is actually Tracy from Alicia's team. Could you tell us what the required certification that you're looking for for REOs? And please shed some light. We already have some certification, SFR and like HAFA, but for REO purpose, what are you looking for? Because you did mention there are some must-have certifications.
We don't have any particular certifications that we require for REO Network to be on our site. We actually like that everybody has different certifications and affiliations. What we require for REO Network is that you've listed at least one REO and that you can provide a reference of that, and you've been licensed at least 3 years. But our particular site wouldn't require a certification.
Okay, but any particular ones that asset manager, from what you have seen, like asset manager is really looking for, what kind of certification?
Ooh, off the top of my head, I don't know. It's just I do know that, for example, like Wells Fargo, if you were a Premier Asset Services, you were required to go to their default school. And then there's other lenders that are requiring those type of things. So I would find out with the asset management companies and the lenders that you're working with, what certifications do they require? Because it does seem like they're requiring more. They want to make sure that you know how to use their systems, how to handle their REOs, and each lender and each company kind of has their own requirements. So I would check with your lenders.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tracy, also. But maybe as a general sense, having like an REO, you've been REO certified, you've been certified to do BPOs, whether it's from, this servicing company or conference or anything that you've got it from. But those are the type of things that you do want to see, that you've done some type of certification with REOs, with short sales, with, things like that.
Yes, I definitely think it's good to list those things. It shows that you continue your education.
Okay.
Yeah.
Education's key,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about what you know and what you can convey to other people. All right, operator, any other questions at this time?
I'm showing no further questions at this time.
All right. Well, Wendy, I just want to give you an opportunity to, if you want to sum up, a few more points, or just give you another moment to say some things.
Definitely. I want to thank you for having me. Thank you for listening to me talk for an hour, and I really appreciate it. If anybody out there is listening that goes in and rewrites their bio and wants us to take a look at it, we are happy to do that. I love to do that and just make sure you're covering all those points. I can be reached at our REO Network phone number, which is 866-316-4690, and that's on our contact page too if you missed that. And I also can be reached by email, which is Wendy, and my name is spelled different because I had hippie parents. It's WINDY at reonetwork.com. And we also have the REO Network Facebook page too that we often write updates, and we put like different ideas of the week on there and what conferences we're going to be at. So that's a great way to kind of connect with us and follow us there too. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Wendy. This has been, such an informative call, and learning education, just getting tips and ideas from other people like yourself who are professionals in this industry to help agents who are either getting started or even still in the business. Sometimes you just have to, if you're a pro at it already, go back and look at your basics and keep yourself, able to set yourself apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
So sincerely hope that the Power of Now listeners take advantage of this valuable information. Wendy, Eric, and I are just so happy to be on this call with you, our first call.
Thank you. I'm happy to. Thank you.